If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back in the heat of the summer. Thanks Block Party Podcast. Adam with Ryan, aka Wolf. Hope everyone had a good, I don't know, whatever holiday. A good holiday, bro.
Yep.
Good. But you know, I've had this conversation recently, especially with Jay. Regardless of everything going on around us, there's a lot.
Bro.
There's something literally every single day.
What was it this week?
It was the bill, the big beautiful, ugly, shitty bill, big shit bill. It's just important to just make moments with the people that you consider, people that you love, and just make moments. Like yesterday, we had a great fucking day together. Me, Jay, my daughter, we had hot pot for the first. Well, I had hot pot for the first time. And then we went to Santa Monica. It was just a lovely day, bro. Like you couldn't have.
What's a hot pot?
So you know what Korean barbecue is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so imagine that, but in like,
those them wings you had posted?
No, we made those at the house.
Shit.
Hot pot is just basically like it's like soup. Like you go somewhere, you make like your own soup. So you pick different broths, and then you pick what you want to put in the broths. Really good. Now, probably like, and Sarah was like, "Oh, do we really want to have hot pot? Like it's summertime." But like, whatever, we went anyway. We had it was delicious. So just make fucking moments, man. Just make fucking moments with your people. That's all we can do. That's all we really can do. I know you was in the pool this weekend.
In the pool, baby.
Shit, man. We don't know how much time we fucking have here, bro. Like at least fucking have fucking some.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it while we fucking can. That's all we can do. Also the premise of this episode really is it's a Q&A. It's a Saints Q&A. The majority of our questions, at least starting off, our people in our Discord, our Patreons ask a whole bunch of questions. If there's still time left over, we can maybe get some questions from the chat. For people who are in the chat and YouTube, they have questions, but we're going to prioritize the ones from our Patreon and our Discord. Also, like, I really want to have a conversation with my uncle. Just like,
boy, look, every time he retweets, send me down a rabbit hole because I start clicking. Damn.
There's no way he understands how retweets work.
Or he's just like, something for the timeline.
No, there's no way. There's no way in hell, bro. I'm just scrolling.
You just be scrolling. Like, whoa. Oh, okay.
And then I look, I'm like, who's putting this on my timeline? Oh, my uncle. I was looking this morning. I was like, oh, that thing
flapping.
Anyway, God I talked to my uncle, bro. He needs some help. Or maybe I wonder if he's trying to like favor it or star it, and then he retweets it instead. Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But we're like in the deadest of the deads of the football offseason. We're what? 20 something, 21-ish days away from being from training camp starting back for the Saints. And we'll pick up as things get closer, just as a whole. But we wanted this to be Q&A. Just do some Q&A for questions. So let me pull them up and start. The first question was really good. I actually had to like think about it. It's from our dude Alberto. If I'm not looking at the camera a lot during this episode, it's actually I can move it over here. Okay. If you could trade for one player right now to make the team instantly better, maybe potentially he would add a win to your earlier season predictions. Doesn't matter what position. Who would it be? And what would you give up? Someone who's also kind of realistic to get.
A lot of variables there.
Yeah.
Realistic. Add a win.
Add a win. I had to think about this one. I came up with two. I came up with two. I went offense and defense, and I came up with two.
Okay, go ahead.
So defensively, I came up with a player that the Saints actually had a chance to draft this player in 2022, but they opted to draft Trevor Penning instead, and we in our mock drafts that year were like shocked and took him in our mock draft, Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. Coming back from injury. His career with the Jets have kind of been up and down, but before he got hurt the season before he had, a good player. Like he's not great, but was approaching like maybe double digit sack. I would have to look it up, but just a good young pass rusher. He is coming off an injury. And that's the kind of the caveat. But I think putting him on the team, you would have Chase Young, you would have Big Creep, Cam Jordan, but I think he fits into this thing that Brandon Staley wants to do because he could rush the passer from standing up. And I would the tricky thing with him is the trade compensation. I would offer the Jets like a fourth for Jermaine Johnson because I don't know how much he's in the Jets' future going forward as a pass rusher. So that's my defensive player. My offensive player was Alec Pierce from the Colts.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
He's not exactly what the Saints would, because he's not that consistent chain mover. He is more of kind of like the big play threat guy, like 20 yards down the field, like big chunks, but he is that bigger body receiver, and I think he's someone that could still kind of complete the receiver room of being a bigger body of what they could add, and kind of that same thing. I can see like if they had Alec Pierce, he could win like a game for them. Like he's going off crazy for like one game. Whereas like, oh my God, Alec Pierce has like 6 catches, 100 and whatever for like one game, and that whatever he ends up winning the game. Same trade compensation. Give up a fourth. I think he's on his probably on his last year of his deal because he was drafted later in the draft. Like so those were my two.
I like that one, man. I got two. I'll give offense. One is Cedric Tillman of the Browns.
Ooh.
I think he's also in his last year.
Is he? No, he was. I thought he was just recently drafted. He ain't. Nah,
Cedric
there's no
Tillman?
way. Yeah, bruh.
I want to say.
Hold on, I gotta look it up. He was drafted 2023.
Oh, he's 23. So he's in his going into his third year.
Third year. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked him a lot as a prospect. He hasn't been, extremely productive with the Browns, but he's been like, okay. Shown flashes. They've had other problems, obviously, with their offense. But
That's a good one.
I just somebody I would, just kind of like, hey, fourth round pick, third round pick. He might, since he's a young player, they might want a little more, compensation for him. But that would just to be somebody. I would definitely want to focus on somebody young. He's big bodied, somebody that's young that could be in the future. Another one similar to yours, the defensive side, Jalen Phillips with Miami, kind of the same position, but he's been injured a ton. I think he only played 4 games last year. Just when he plays, he looks good, but just hadn't had the career yet that they wanted. So similar to you with Jermaine Johnson, off for 4th. Dolphins, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I have no idea what they're doing this offseason. Are they resetting?
No clue, bro.
It'll be the perfect time to just go and give a call. Like, hey, what's up? What you want to do with Jalen Phillips? I think he's going into his 4th year. I don't know if they gave him a 5th-year option because he was a first-round pick, right?
He was a first-round pick, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they gave him a 5th year.
I don't. That's
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
But that's somebody I look at, I think those, if you did, like, I wouldn't want them to do like a crazy move, giving up like multiple first round picks or a first and a second, just to like win some games this year. But if they could do like a move, a day 2, day 3 move to get a young player, that obviously if he's on the trade block, he's going to have some more to either injuries or production or something. But somebody that has that potential that could turn into like a long-term answer, just like we did with Vilma back in the day, or Jeremy Shockey, or move like that could play dividends down the road, man. That'd be what's up.
It's funny because Jalen Phillips was on my list as well. This team can't. There's no way in hell this team could trade a first, bro. Like,
oh hell, and this team,
nah,
shit,
bro. Ain't no way, no way.
Well, you could potentially have the number 1 overall pick.
Or at least picking top 3. Ain't no way in hell, bro.
Ain't no way.
Young Hitters says, if this season goes bad, the way it's probably expected to go, what's the most likely change y'all think will happen to this team, coaching staff, or front office? So that's a tough one because that one has layers. I would say the most likely, just off the top of my head, because it's been set up for a while when they brought in Dave Ziegler, because Mickey was setting up him to be the fall man, is that they want Jeff Ireland to be the fall guy. Like that to me,
that makes 100% sense. 100% sense.
Because also, like, unless you're like in the Saints minutia, like unless you listen to like podcasts like ours and things like this, like how many people really don't know like the 2023 draft class. Like, Mickey Loomis made most of those draft picks. People are like, oh, well, Jeff Ireland is like the Saints draft guy. So like people don't really know. So if people don't know, then it's really easy to kind of put the blame on Jeff Ireland. Not to say that Jeff Ireland has not had his hands dirty and blood on his hands in some bad draft classes in his tenure here, because he absolutely has. But that to me would be like the easy scapegoat to put the blame on, is putting the blame on Jeff Ireland and making him the fall guy, making him the bad guy.
Easy, bro. To the point where I'll predict it. If they win 5 or less games this year, I think Ireland gone, bro. I think he's gone. Just for them to be like, hey, look, we got to improve, we got to make some changes. And he'll be that fall guy. Go tell Gail, like, yeah, Ireland with these draft picks, is like, especially if this class doesn't turn out well, like say the Rattler or Shuck don't really look like the future or whatever, it's gonna be put on Ireland, bro.
Bro, I will be trying. I'm trying to get Ireland on the podcast immediately, bro.
Please,
Jeff, tell your truth. Tell your truth, Jeff.
You can talk about the holes and everything, bro. Talk about it.
Talk about the prostitutes.
Everything.
Let it out, Jeff. You got a place right here. Don't let them do you like that, Jeff. Tell your truth, bro. Tell your truth. Let's see. Our dude Neil said, "What are the chances this team can stop the run? Will the opponents just be able to run at will on this defense? As much resources that they have put into, I would hope fucking not. I would hope not.
If the defense can do anything this year, it should be better at stopping the run. I'm not saying they're going to be 2000 Ravens stopping the run, but like they should. Last year they were horrible. Like they were absolutely god awful at stopping the run, to the point where it was like anybody could run on them last year. I don't care what running back.
Sean
if
Tucker,
Jamal Williams switched teams last year and got on another team, he put up 100 yards against them. I don't care who it was, bro. So they just got to be better. And they've invested, like, from the front to the back, they've invested resources, whether that's Gottschall, Broughton, second level, you drafted, Stutzman at linebacker.
Brought in Justin Reed.
Who was great at either coverage or filling the gap. You drafted Sanker. Like, they should be better at stuff.
Which is, they should, but it's crazy because, like, and this is where, to me, the evolution of Brandon Staley really has to show up, because in LA, here where I live, when he had Khalil Mack, when he had Joey Bosa, when he had Derwin James, one of the biggest warts of that LA Chargers defense, they didn't stop the run well at all.
Yeah.
They didn't. So it got to be better. Like I don't know. Like I've been watching or reading up quite a bit on that Arizona Cardinals defense. Like, did you realize I would have to look, like, they finished like in the top 15 or something defensively, bro?
Really?
That Cardinals defense, bro. Like that is like a sweat equity defense to the extreme.
To the extreme. Search ball defense, bro. Like,
shout out Patrick Claybon. Like,
who are these guys?
Like,
who?
That's the type of coaching Brandon Staley is going to need to do.
Yes.
For this team to be successful. Like, and we're all like, our prediction, they're going to win 5-6 games. If they're going to eclipse that, like, obviously that's meaning that the offense, the whoever's starting at quarterback, that means that they're playing well or on a decent level, and that's looking good. But that means that the defense has to match it, and they're going to have to be somewhere like above, like playing above their heads. Like, yep. It's a must.
That's what I want to see. I know the talent isn't great. I know that. Like, I don't expect anybody to have double-digit sacks or nothing like that. But just show me that sweat equity. Show me rallying to the ball, tackling well. Like, if you do those things in the defense, don't make costly mistakes, don't blow coverages. If you just do those things that are within your control, your defense should be at least okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you start doing all kind of funky stuff, blowing coverages, you can't tackle, you can't stop the run, it's a wrap.
Done. Balky, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, or Wargot4 asked, what is the position group you think could surprise in a good way, and one that could surprise in a bad way? Okay. Okay. So I know we've harped on the cornerbacks a lot, but what if Kool-Aid takes a step and he's like a good, decent starting cornerback, maybe along the lines of like a Debo or in that vein, Jack Rabbit type of cornerback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what if Quincy Riley comes in and just is playing well as a rookie? Like, just he comes in like, God damn, like they really nailed this, that draft pick. And maybe the cornerback room is just a lot better than we think. Is it likely? Probably not. But like, what if like that's the hope and expectation. The one that could surprise in a bad way is what if all this draft capital and this O-line.
I know where you was going with that one.
Like, I'm not worried about Fuaga, but
still a young player though.
He's still a young player, he is. But Calvin Banks is still like he's a rookie at left tackle, and like that is just a worry. And then Trevor Penny, and still like it's an assumption that he's like he's playing a position that he's never played before.
Just assume like, oh, it's gonna work, man. Fit right in.
It might work. It could be awful, and he's playing next to a rookie. And Eric McCoy has had tons of injury issues the last couple of seasons. Like, the offensive line could not be great. And if it's not great, then they're right back to where they were last season. And that's either with Rattler or with Shuck. And if it's with Shuck, and we see how he is with the offense.
That's the number one for me as far as that could surprise in a bad way, because one of the only units going into this season that you expect to be better is the offensive line, just because of what they're investing, how much they're focused on it. You expect it to be better, so it can very well not be good. It could very well not be good. I hope not, but like that would be the most disappointing thing. And I agree with you on the cornerback group. I think they have the ability to surprise a lot of people and just be like a good feisty young secondary. You know what I'm saying? Would it be, the freaking Seahawks Legion of Boom? No. But like, it's a nice little feisty young secondary. Like, okay, they got something here.
I think, what if like the receivers just stayed like healthy? Like, because if they stay healthy.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Right? Like, I think. Like, I'm saying, like, relatively healthy. Like, if they miss, like
a game. I didn't realize Shaheed only played, like, 6 games last year. I was like, damn, he missed that much time? Only 6 games he played. Damn.
Yes.
So, yeah, bro, like, if they get a full season out of Shaheed and a full season out of Olave, that alone, and then you throw Brandon Cooks in the middle of it, like, oh, my God, huge.
Oh, okay. So we ran some good ones. Neil said, do you think that Kendra will make it through training camp without missing any time?
Oh, absolutely not. No way. Why would I bet on that? Why?
I could no.
I wouldn't bet $1 on that, bro.
No. Some of these questions from Brian, I'm not gonna even, but this one's a good one.
Brian got 10,000 caveats to that shit.
Would you rather random close game luck and win 9 games? So like win 9 games, but like most of it's kind of due to luck, or lose a bunch, but you have some young guys who show real promise. Ooh.
Oh, give me the young guy shows promise.
Yes.
Lose a bunch, man. Give me that.
Yes, easily.
I mean,
to me, that's more you're building some, like, that's more Detroit Lions-esque.
Right.
Because if you are random and you win 9 games, but like there's no real talent there, you're just lucky.
Perfect.
Because then
perfect example is what 2023 season. Remember they finished like 5-4. I mean 5-1 in the last couple of games, except against the Rams. Beat a bunch of bad teams. That's all you saw written about all off season. Oh, they finished 5-1. Blah, 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 blah. Something to build off of going into the next season. Blah 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 blah. None of that shit matter. I don't want him.
And then if they win 9 games, then Mickey Loomis has job secure. Oh, nah.
Oh,
nah. Nope. Our dude Cole, if you had to bet on one young guy currently on the roster who you would bet to be a Hall of Famer, / top player in the league.
Hall of Famer?
Or top player in the league.
Top player in the league.
Fuaga?
I mean, is Chris Olave still considered a young player?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say
I
so.
mean, I would consider Olave has a chance to be like I'm not a Hall of Famer, but like a top player. I could see him being a top player in the league. Fuaga, I could see him being like one of those two-time All-Pro.
Yeah.
A couple Pro Bowls. Even well, I haven't seen Banks play yet, but I think he has the talent to do that. It's funny, all of it's on offense. I can't think of one defensive player, even.
No.
Not even be like a top player in the league. Like, sure, maybe some of the young guys, maybe, but no, none of them.
No, bro. No.
Oh, bro.
This is okay. So I know he was joking when he said it. DEI, Devon. How many wins would this team have with Patrick Mahomes? This group of wide receivers, this offensive line,
everything the same, coaching, everything the same, but just plop Patrick Mahomes in at quarterback.
Yep.
I'd say probably about 10 or 11.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking, bro.
I think he would double the win. He would double the win total for this team.
Yes,
just being him. Which is just like that goes. I'll show you why quarterbacks make all the money, bro. Like that's
crazy,
how
bro.
important it is.
Crazy. Like yes, and then like I can see like him getting like going on a heater like in the NFC playoffs too, bro.
Yeah, with Shaheed and
Olave,
Chris Olave. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I can also see him on a key third down, bro. Throwing a dot to Juwan. That nigga just dropping it, bro. We gonna be so, bro. Oh, we be all right. I can just throw it right to you.
Just drop.
Not Patrick's problem.
If only.
Brock said, how bad would it have to get for Kellen to be one and done? Like 1 or 2 wins, I would say.
Yeah, I think like, one win. Like,
yeah,
one win. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad. And, like, team melting down, mutiny in the locker room, getting blown out week after week. It would have to really be bad. Because, I don't know how long his contract for, but I'm sure it's like a 4 to 5 year contract. And I know he's getting paid. He getting some money, too. Like, he ain't no getting no $1, $2, $3 million a year like Dennis Allen. He getting the money.
No.
So, like, that's guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it would have to be bad.
It would have to be bad. Matter of fact, I don't even just see the scenario. Like, it would really have to be terrible.
Because if
like
he's
Urban Meyer terrible, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, if he's out, to me that would mean like Mickey. Like, it would be like Mickey would have to be bad. Like, would likely be gone too. Like that. That's how bad it would. But I wouldn't want to wish that on Kellen though. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Because that a season that bad, like that's a terrible season to endure as a fan base too. 1 win or 0 wins? Oh.
1 win,
2 wins. Like I don't. Anderson said, would you rather give up eye contact or all drinks except water? Oh, for sure, all drinks. I would rather give up, eye contact, so I'd be blind, or all my drinks would be water? Bro, I would just drink a shit ton of water. Like, I don't, like, probably sounds insensitive to people who are blind, but, like...
So I got, be blind? Oh, I mean, come on now. Drink water. Like, bro, I'm not about to give up my sight. Oh, did he mean eye contact, like looking in people's eyes or whatever? Oh,
yeah, that question's, yeah. Anyway, these questions go a little crazy. Brock asked what if you remember was your milk awakening?
That's an Adam question for sure.
for sure. My true one, like, so TJ from Step by Step,
The TJ look
and
like.
the sequel of Alice Mack was like my TV milk awakening for sure.
What if everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? We chase careers, approval, more stuff, hoping it'll finally make us feel fulfilled, but it never sticks. What if happiness isn't out there, but already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked? Discover the book, The Happiness Experiment. Every person has a unique happiness type, and when you understand yours, everything shifts. You'll stop chasing and start creating joy on your own terms. Discover your happiness type with a free happiness type assessment. Go to myhappinnesstype.com. That's myhappinnesstype.com. It takes just a minute and it might change your life. Then grab your copy of The Happiness Experiment at Books A Million. This isn't just a book, it's a practical framework, a journey inward. It's a tool to help you reconnect with the happiness that's been waiting inside you all along. Pick up The Happiness Experiment and start your happiness experiment today.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 7/9 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Maximum initial battery voltage measured without a workload is 20 volts. Nominal voltage is 18.
Jordan asked a good one. If the Saints ended up being sold and moving cities, would you remain a fan of the team? And if not, which team would you become a fan of?
Absolutely not. I'd be
Would
done
not
with
be
the Saints.
would not be a fan of the team. I wouldn't choose a new team. I would be like an NFL like agnostic, bro.
Agnostic as hell. I root for the Ravens one year, Lions another year, but I'd be done with it.
it would be bliss, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be hurt by it. I'd be seeing the Saints.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Leave the city with. That would honestly crush me. For a different, not because of like, not as much so as my fandom, because I still have the memories and enjoyment and all that stuff. But just knowing how the Saints are connected to the city, that would piss me off. I mean, we've been there. Like we've been close to it with Katrina, and they discussed moving the city. And I mean, I was almost done then. I was like, man, the fact y'all even talking about that by doing it now, like when the city is like been nuked, like I was pissed. But then they drafted Reggie Bush, boy. I was like, I'm back now, baby. Reggie, I'm back.
Yeah, that would be truly devastating for the city. And no,
and we ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about that for now.
Other Jordan asked, and this is something I've been thinking about for a while. Why are my people, I'm guessing you meaning white people, also not just white people, but majority white people, choosing sauces over kissing instead of just learning to season their food? So I think the deeper I've been putting my psych degree on when thinking about this. I think the deeper meaning of this when I've been thinking about this is, I think as society, a lot, like whether it's this technology, it's the younger generation, is that we as society have veered a lot further away from intimacy. That it's more socially okay with people to be okay with not having intimacy. And because like a kiss can mean like so many more things, right? Like, cause I've thought about it, like what a kiss like to me has meant to me, like in my lifetime. Like a kiss to me has given me like closure at my mom's funeral. I remember kissing my daughter when she was born. I remember like my first kiss and like amazing kisses I've had like throughout my lifetime. Like like all that to me has been like, those are memorable experiences like I wouldn't trade for anything, like truly, like for anything. So I think as younger generations in society, there's become like this disconnect where it's become more socially okay to let go of that. Because there's also become a lack of connection, right? We don't, there's no
physical connection.
People don't like people, they text message. People don't even like calling on the phone.
No.
People don't like calling on the phone. So if you think about that, don't call me. Just send me a text
message. Me. Send a text. See that all the time.
So if people are okay doing that, then of course people are going to be okay choosing giving away a kiss over a sauce. So it's like, again, my brain has really thought about this like on a deeper level. So it makes a lot of sense when you really, really think about it. So for me, it's not even something like, it's not debatable. Like it, like to me, it's like kiss. It makes us like, it brings us together and it makes us like human, and it keeps like our intimacy, not even in a sexual way. It brings us like together. And so many people are okay like being isolated, so they're okay in being in like their own like. So that's, anyway, I'm not gonna go off on my own little tangent about it.
It's a good theory, bro.
Especially like the younger generation, like Gen Zers. Like Gen Zers don't want to fucking guess. Like, absolutely not.
Which is crazy.
But something I do find very interesting, and not all, but it's very, very interesting how the very little research I've done on this, most Black people are pro kissing, most, as opposed to other races. I found that very interesting. Ardu Bajan asks, how many players are we away from being a conference championship contender? 15, 20, 53?
Look, honestly, it's crazy to say this as bad as the Saints are, but I do think it doesn't take that many. Like, I think 6 or 7. Like, because like, I think the Saints roster is just a lot of middle class, like a lot of average. You know what I'm saying? But most teams have that.
We just talked about like what if Patrick Mahomes was on this team. It goes from 5, 6 wins to like 11.
10, 11, yeah. So it's like most teams are a lot of average, but they have like even the past, like I talked about it on 2 podcasts ago. We had like a top 5 to top 10 player at every position group only a couple years ago. You know, AK at his prime, Ramczyk, Teron Armstead, DeMario in his prime, Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Williams, Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And just those players being so good, it just raises the tide up for like everybody else. And just the Saints just don't have any like players at that level right now anymore. So if they got like a top 5 wide receiver, you know, a top 5 offensive tackle, and you know, a top 5 pass rusher, and a top 5 safety, or something like that. Man, and the quarterback is obviously the biggest.
They almost had a top 5. Like, they almost had a top 5 safety, but Brian Branch was right there.
But you get a top 10 quarterback. Just a top 10 quarterback with this roster, like gives you like 2 to 3 extra wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for sure.
So like if you spread that across the roster, man, it'll be. So they need huge. Like obviously they need a huge, another amazing draft or 2 to really knock that out the park. And coaching.
Man, I'm fascinated to see how this draft class plays out, because they drafted 9 players, bro.
Bro.
Like a question I have is like, out of those 9 that they drafted, how many of those 9 are going to be how many of the 9 that they drafted are going to be green on my spreadsheet?
That's a good one. In 3 years, let's say like in 3 years,
green.
Look back at this draft. How many will be green?
I'll say 3. I'll say 3.
I'm about to say. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4.
They get 4. That's
4 out of 9. That's not even 50% though. You know what I'm saying?
but like I'll say I'm gonna just. This is just me guessing. I'm gonna go Banks, Riley, and Schenker.
That's what I said. Banks, Riley, Sanker, and I threw in somebody else. I forgot him already. I think I threw Neal in. I threw Devin Neal in.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
I'm not tripping on. I'm not tripping off that little workout video. I'm not tripping. I think he's gonna be just a fine running back. I don't think he's gonna be like a Pro Bowl running back. Just fine running back. You know what I'm saying?
A little concerning on all our guesses. Neither of us hit Tyler Shutt, the quarterback they drafted at 40th overall. A little concerning about that.
It's not, to me. It's not concerning because that's such a high variance position, man.
It is.
Unless I'm just like blown away by you, I can't tell you. Like, even if we had Jalen Milroe, it would be hard for me to predict
I get that.
Green with Jalen Milroe. You know what I'm saying?
Bajan asks us, Kellen more sauces or kisses? Oh no, he got like 4 kids though.
I know, that's man. Tough. He about his intimacies. Like Kellen about his, bro.
I don't know, bro. He strikes me as a pro kisses, but like his all his teeth get in the way though. So I'm gonna say he's pro kisses.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
And then this is a good one too. Without saying we will see, I don't know, or show me, what does your gut think about Kellen Moore at will? What does your gut think about what Kellen Moore will as a coach, positive or negative? I think schematically, I think the team will be prepared on Sunday schematically, like in terms of like he's going to be up, he's going to be prepared about the defense, about what they're going to see. I think I think he'll call a good game. I think the thing that worries me about him as a coach is the inter-office shenanigans and politicking navigating Mickey Loomis and him having like a backbone and standing up to Loomis.
That's your radar right there. That's been on your radar from the jump. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think I put this in the Discord recently. I could see him at least early having a Mike McDaniel type aura with the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Where I think the offense, you're gonna see his input on the offense, his like impact on the offense. And I think you're gonna see like that promise, like, oh, okay, this dude, he coaching out here. But I worry that it's just gonna be a little finesse. Like the team is gonna be kind of finesse. Just very schemey, you know what I'm saying? Very scheme oriented, but not so much. I hate to use the word toughness. That gets used a lot when people talk about the Miami Dolphins right now. But it's not so much toughness, but man, sometimes you just got to line up and beat dudes up. Like, you know what I'm saying? In football, like every now and then, you just got to dominate your opponent. And I don't know. In the back of my mind, I could see at least early his teams playing out like that. And look, Sean Payton had, times where his teams would get like that.
Yep.
And he kind of learned from it. Like the later Saints, 2017, 18, 19, that was like, he had like teams that would go in and whoop on people. You know what I'm saying?
Whoop.
But it took a while for him to get there.
Tony, which assistant coach, not Kellen or the coordinators, are you most interested in, and which one has the toughest job this year? Brandon Nugent, I think.
Who's saying he's the OL or the running game?
OL coach. I think that's his name. I want to say that's his name. Yeah, Brandon Nugent. Because like to me, it all he's offensive line coach. The O line got to work, bro.
Got to.
The O line got to work. Like his job is he's essentially coaching a rookie left tackle, and he's helping coach a player who started his career at left tackle, moved to right tackle. Now he's playing left guard.
Yeah.
And like they don't have a backup plan for Penny.
No,
That's
it.
That's it. That's to me is
the work he will do with Penning is like, I mean, it's like a master's thesis, whatever. Like the work you're doing with Penning, bro. Like you could literally save Penning's career this year with the work he would do there. If he could get Penning to be an average to above average guard, like you literally saving a guy's career. Because after this, it's like it's no man's land. It's your last chance, bro. I would go with Scott Tolzien, the quarterback coach.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's kind of obvious, but like if he has to prepare 2 young quarterbacks to play 17 games, man. Like, and how they handle this competition. I don't remember who I was listening to recently, but there aren't really any more quarterback competitions because it's just not built into the offseason to have those anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So you're going to have to make a decision without all the information because you just can't get all the information you need to make that decision. So you're going to have to kind of project. And you got to manage all the other stuff. The general manager wanted him to play, the egos and stuff like that. You got to manage all that. Then you got the players. The players know who they want. You know what I'm saying? They know who they feel confident in seeing starting. You know what I'm saying? You got to manage that too. So even though that won't all be, that's going to be Kellen's decision. I think Scott Tolzien, he's going to spend the most time with the quarterbacks, getting them prepared. He's played in the league. You know, Spencer and Shuck have talked highly of him. I've listened to him talk. He seems impressive. So just getting him prepared, bro. Like that's going to be like a huge job for him. And look, man, like quarterback coach is the path to being a head coach because you go from quarterback coach to calling offense eventually, and then from there you can go to being a head coach. So that's a huge job for him.
Huge.
And we've seen in this league, like if you show that you could develop quarterbacks, bro, they will grab you so quick. They don't give a fuck.
Quick, bro. Quick. Wayne, what are the things you need to see from this team to declare this season a success regardless of record? Fight and them being competitive. Like I always go back to that first year of the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell, where that team competed no matter who the opponent was. And their talent level was not great, but they were in games or were close in games that they had no business being in. Won some games that they had no business winning. Almost beat some teams they had no business almost beating some teams. And obviously, I don't know if this team can emulate that, but when you watch that Detroit team, we've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast. You saw it. It's just an eye test. It's just an eye test when you watch the games. It's like, all these dudes out here fighting. All these dudes out here, oh, okay, they came to play. Now, does that mean that they're going to go out and win every Sunday? It doesn't necessarily mean that. But are they out there fighting? Are they out there competing? Are they out there fighting, fighting for the coach? And does it feel like they have a legitimate chance? Not every Sunday, but most Sundays. That's what I want to see. If I can see that, then you got something. So I think that's the huge part. That's the huge part.
Yeah, man. Just show me something. I've seen Sean Payton take teams with Taysom Hill at quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston, even Trevor Siemian. He didn't win any games, but they were in every game with Trevor Siemian. You know what I'm saying?
Every game, bro.
I just want to go out there and feel like we got a chance. Because when Dennis Allen with Derek Carr or whatever, when we were going to face the Rams, we was going to face any team with a slightly decent record or that looked slightly good, didn't feel like I had a chance. It was I know this is going to be a L. No chance at all. So if Kellen Moore can show me this team has a fighting chance week to week, and I don't care how the record plays out, but just they got the fighting chance. He's getting the most out of young players. He's making smart decisions on game day. He's calling a good game. He's calling a good offense. That's all I need to see, bro.
That's it. Bunch asked, is this team beating Arizona week 1? You said yes.
I said yeah.
I said no.
I would give it to him, bro. Positive vibes, baby.
Chris said, if this team somehow starts 2-2 or better, will Mickey make a trade, and for what position?
Well, I mean, we just earlier gave y'all 2 trades we'd like to see. Like, I don't know if he'd make a move like that, but if they started 2-2, I know his trigger finger gonna be itching, boy. He start off 2-2, he's gonna be like, who can I add to this roster?
Itching. I can see it, bro. Yeah, we gave you like 4 players, and I could see any of those 4. Let's see. Our dude Adam. What does AK need to do to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Okay. You know that run Christian McCaffrey had the year the Niners went to Super Bowl? He needs to have 2 years like that back to back to maybe get in the conversation. Like this year, next year.
Yeah.
To maybe get in the conversation. So probably not very likely.
No, not like. But yeah, he would need like close to 2,000 complete yards, like catching and rushing, like 2 to 3 years straight. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to have better seasons than he's had already, which he's had some great seasons. But he needs to outdo what he's already done. You know what I'm saying? Great player, but the running backs in the Hall of Fame, bro. Boy, it's hard, bro. Like
hard.
It is hard to get up in there.
If you had to stand on business, pick a year in the future where the Saints start to ascend back into being able to realistically contend for a Super Bowl, what year would you pick? Obviously, we can't see the future, but in the NFL, you can get lucky to do a few things, and it doesn't take long. Adam said his guess is 2030 at the earliest. He doesn't see it happening in the Kellen regime more because of Mickey than because of Kellen. I think it would have to be a new GM and head coach combo.
I agree with that.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. I mean, I say at the earliest, I give him 2028, 2029 at the earliest. Best, like the most optimistic possible. Like they're 3 to 4 years away. You know what I'm saying? And that's if everything works. Everything.
All right, I think we are almost to.
A quarterback could change quick though. Like,
like if they finish with the record and they're picking top 3 in the draft next year, and they draft the quarterback next year, and that quarterback is like the dude, bro. It all changes, bro.
Quick.
All changes.
Quick. I mean, look at the Texans.
Look at the Commanders.
Commanders, biggest obvious one.
All changes. Our dude Scotty asks, how does it feel to see the growth of the podcast from then till now? It's wild.
It is, man.
Yeah, it's wild because everyone knows the story, or most people do. Like, they know that when we did our first episode in 2020, it was supposed to be a one-off, and then like enough people started listening, or enough people from that one episode were like, oh, okay, we'll do like a little limited series, like a limited, couple episodes, and so it didn't start off to be what it became. And then us going on YouTube last year, has helped with the growth in a different way. Because we were, strictly audio for like the longest time. So it's been very grateful, I would say. Very grateful, very appreciative to grow the way we have. So it's been a journey. So we're just very appreciative of all y'all, honestly, for where we come from, where we are now, all these 5+ years. We put a lot, we put a lot into it. We don't. It's a lot that goes into it. Now it's a little calm right now. Honestly, this is probably the calmest it's gonna get, because it's so kind of dead in the NFL. But as training camp kicks up, and especially once the season gets going, when we get up and running, once the season kicks up, it's full force. But we're very, very proud of everything. Very, very proud, and very appreciative of what we've built over the years. We hear funny stories all the time of like people will be like, oh, like I went somewhere, and it's still a little surreal for us, like here, that like someone is like listening and consuming our content and stuff like that. So very grateful.
Very grateful, bro. Like I've told my wife plenty of times, it's like sometimes this is one of the like few real positive things I got going in my life, depending where I'm at in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the one thing I can look to and say, I really feel good about that. And honestly, the thing I least expected was the community. Like when we started this, I didn't envision that whatsoever. I just wanted to, get a popping little podcast, but like the meetups we have, the Discord community we have, the brotherhood and sisterhood we built with people, just the friendships. I had no expectation of anything like that, and it's blown me away, bro. Like completely, like life changing, man. Like to have people in your life that you could call friends, that you could, look to and talk to and have relationships with. Like it makes your life better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I'm most proud of the most, outside the numbers and popularity and all that stuff. Also, doing this for 5+ years, you just like it's been real growth. Like I'm proud that it's been real growth.
Right.
We didn't blow up off like one episode or one viral clip or nothing like that. It's been like just us grinding every week, putting out episodes, no matter what the numbers are, just constantly pushing. So I'm proud that our growth is like not fugazi. It's
Organic.
very organic, very organic. Like it's people that actually listen to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah. I think that's pretty much most of the questions. I think we had one in the chat, and then we will wrap up. If I get to it, if I can find it. If I can't find it, then we will wrap up. Oh, this is my favorite part of the podcast, where I do terrible audio podcasting, because right now I'm trying to scroll and find the question on YouTube. Nope, can't find it. Oh well. Oh, here it is. Mr. Callio, do y'all think we're waiting for the first round of cuts to sign a big body receiver? I don't think that's what they're doing. I mean, they brought in Gabe Davis for a visit. I know they've had very small conversations with Keenan Allen, like almost like 2 months ago. No, if someone gets cut that's unexpected, then and they like that person as a player, then they might go after them. But I don't think that's their meant. They're not waiting, because obviously, like another team could also sign that player. Like they're like, so they're not like the only team that would have an eye. So that's not their plan. And also, that if that was their plan, that would be that's just terrible team building. Like, oh, let's just wait. Like, no. So no, that's not just their plan. But no, that was it. Not a quick, but a pretty good Saints Q&A. We answered quite a few questions regarding the Saints. We still have what? Like 20 plus days before training camp picks up. It's is it a little weird they're only opening 9 days of training camp to the public?
I mean, for the Saints, I guess it's not weird because we've come to expect that for them now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
so.
Like,
I guess so.
What happened to the black and gold scrimmages and all? Remember all those?
Yes, I do. What happened to the game I love? But at least I can report. I mean, I've said it. The first preseason game where they take on the Chargers, I'll be there. Me and Jay will be there. Foot on the ground. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'll be here quick.
Quick, bro.
But we appreciate y'all for joining us on a Sunday morning, this 3-day weekend. Hope y'all had fun, enjoyed time. We'll be back this upcoming weekend. Actually have an idea for our next podcast episode. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Take care. Like and subscribe. We'll be back this upcoming week. And with that, we are out.
Peace.
Sterling Holmes of Fansided, joined now by entrepreneur and philanthropist known for his commitment to advancing rational philosophy, as well as an author who just wrote The Happiness Experiment, a revolutionary way to increase happiness. Carl Barney. Carl, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thanks, Sterling.
Yeah. Folks listening, by the way, are you ready to take control of your future, significantly increase your own happiness, and transform lives? Then this conversation is for you. After a terrifying brush with death, Carl created the innovative idea of prequests, or happiness grants, inheritances provided to the grantees while the grantor was still alive. First and foremost, Carl, how did you come up with the idea of prequesting?
Well, there were three things that happened. One was a terrifying plane crash. I was on this plane, about 100 passengers on it. We took off and started climbing for altitude. Suddenly, there was this massive explosion in the back of the plane. I thought the whole back of the plane had blown off. And then total silence, no engines, no air conditioning, no noise at all. And then suddenly the plane started plunging to the ground. Absolutely knew I was going to die. But I'm here, so a miracle occurred, but you'll have to read the book to find out what happened. But that was the first thing. The second thing that happened is my sister's husband was dying, and he's given 6 months to live, and very sad about it. So she was living in England, so I flew over to England, and I said, Janet, you're in my will, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring your inheritance, your bequest, forward and make it a prequest. I'm going to give it to you now, so that you can use it and your husband can use it and fulfill their final wishes. And she was blown away. I mean, she was totally stunned. She cried, she laughed, she loved it. And they used it, and it really was good for them in the final days of his life. Well, my older brother was sitting there with his wife. And I turned to my older brother and I said, well, look, since I'm doing this for Janet, why don't I do this for you too? And why don't you have this and it's your bequest? And he said, oh, that's great. Thank you. So generous. But his wife went ballistic. Wife said, this is too much money. It's wrong. I don't want anything to do with it. And she stormed out of the room. And so I said, whoa, that's a surprise. So that caused me some concern, which I'll tell you about later. Anyhow, that was the number two. Now, the third thing that happened was I'm going over my financial investments. And I said to my accountant and my planner, I said, look, there's all this money on here. It's not being used by me. It's not being used to do any good for anybody. He said, well, it's making more money. I said, I don't care about making more money. I want to know how this money is going to be used for my benefit, my happiness, and for others' happiness. And so that's when I started to think about making these prequests to 20 people in my will. And that's what I did.
Well, with such a long and distinguished background in business, as you're mentioning right here, what was the primary factor that inspired you to write a book on happiness instead of maybe a book on business or something in that genre?
Well, it was the happiness experiment and seeing what my friends, employees, former employees, what these 20 people did. So I sat down with them and I went through, I told them what I was going to do and so forth. And then I saw them doing their happiness planning, working with a happiness coach. I saw what their plans were. And then I saw them experiencing increasing their happiness, what they were doing. And I said, this is really good. These guys are doing great. I need to write about this so other people can do the same thing. They can follow these people, what they did, their plans, what they did to fulfill their plans. And I thought it was a good idea to get into the world. So I wasn't planning to write a book. This has just happened. So
that's incredible. Just organic.
Exactly. I mean, this happened in real time with real people and real results.
When did you realize that the pre-quests were more than just a one-time gift? And as you're mentioning, a longer-term commitment, if you will, and again, as you titled the book, The Happiness Experiment.
Yeah. When I sat down with people, I said to them, I want you to make the best use of this money. And so this money is going to really help you in your life, become more successful, help you become more happy. And I said, what I'd like you to do is write a plan. And they said, well, what kind of plan? And I said, well, a happiness plan. And they said, what's a happiness plan? I said, okay, I'll get you a happiness coach who can help you make a happiness plan. And so I realized that it wasn't just the one time, the gift. So they had a happiness coach who helped them figure out happiness habits, which they could pursue all the year. So, and the coach stayed with them for the year and helped them implement their plan. So it was a package. It's not just dumping money on somebody or saying, hey, here's a bunch of money. That's there's a Hollywood thing. That's not what this is about. This is a thoughtful, careful, deliberate program. It's the money given in the right time for the right person. It's the planning and it's the coaching that all comes together.
Well, since we're on the subject of planning and coaching, the grants that help reshape and change lives, which obviously in today's day and age, so timely, what is your hope that the book can do for your readers?
I know that you're big on sports. Okay, so I've read your biography. In sports, everything is planned. Everything is precise. Every play, every game is thoughtful. And then they have the plan, they execute, they train for the plan, they work the plan. It's the same thing with happiness. If you plan and you pursue and you develop happiness habits, just as you do in sports. And in sports, you become great and you can become a lot happier when you do this same process in life. So my hope is this, and this is why I wrote the book, for two reasons. Anybody that follows the book can increase their happiness. They make a decision, they put together a plan, they pursue the plan, they will become happier. And I wanted them to read these stories so they could follow in their footsteps. The other thing is people who are wealthy, who have a lot to give, get them thinking about the people that they're grateful for. The people we don't become rich and famous and successful without a lot of help. And that thing is true for you too. That you had a lot of people that did nice things for you. And then what you do is recognize them. You can put them in your will and say, I'm going to tell them thank you when I'm dead. But then you say, why should I wait? Don't wait. Bring it forward. Sit down with them now and say, look, I've got the money. Here, take some and use it for your own happiness. And it ripples. It goes out into the community, their friends and family. And it'd be great if it got into the world.
If more people embraced pre-questing and intentional happiness planning, how do you think society as a whole would change?
Well, I think it would have to change. There would be much more focus on deliberate, intentional increasing of your own happiness and those that you care about. And then it would ripple and spread into the community. Now, if a lot of people in the world, particularly the wealthy people, said, look, I didn't get here alone. There's the friends and employees, former employees. These are the people who helped me. And I'm going to express how grateful I am and give them a happiness grant, but require a plan, a thoughtful plan, give them a coach, do it well, do it deliberately. And, if that was happening all over the world, which I'd love to see, with all of the wealthy people in the world, it would really make a difference. And I hope it does.
Well, and again, this conversation right here, it's all about how to take control of your future, increase your own happiness, and transform lives. These are all very important things, all things that should be taught in school. These are things that folks need. How often do I use calculus right now, Carl? I'm not using calculus right now. How often am I doing biology right now, Carl? Not too often. But what I could do is obviously take control of my future, create my own happiness. And you can do that, especially with the help of Carl's book, The Happiness Experiment. Again, a revolutionary way to increase happiness by Carl Barney. Carl, I really appreciate it.
I love talking with you. Thank you. It made me very happy. And can we point out that the book is available for pre-order wherever books are sold, but Amazon will be able to take the orders, and they can go to happinessexperiment.com and buy the book pre-order.
Carl, appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. And if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves shopping for a car. Selling a car? Not so much.
We're really doing this, huh?
Thankfully, Carvana makes it easy. Answer a few questions, put in your VIN or license, and done. We sold ours in minutes this morning, and they'll come pick it up and pay us this afternoon.
Bye-bye, truckie.
Of course, we kept the favorite.
Hello, other truckie.
Sell your car with Carvana today. Terms and conditions apply.